If you're a luxury homeowner in Sarasota or Lakewood Ranch and you're thinking about selling in 2026, I have a message for you that might be a little tough to hear. The easy button has been disconnected. For the last few years, we lived in a real estate anomaly. You could put a sign in the yard on Friday, ignore all the phone calls over the weekend, and have 5 over ask, all cash offers by Monday morning. But as we sit here in April of 2026, the housing market has undergone what we call the healthy recalibration. The frenzy is over and the era of the strategic seller has begun. My name is Darren Dowling with the Dowling Group at Beyond Realty, and today we're going to look at the raw, unvarnished truth about what it takes to sell a high-end property in today's environment. We're going to talk about why some homes are sitting for 6 months or more while others sell in 6 days. We're going to look at the surge in inventory, the shift in buyer demographics, and the specific marketing tactics that we're using at the Dowling Group to find the one buyer in the world who will pay a premium for your specific view, your specific architecture, your specific lifestyle. If you're looking for a realtor to tell you exactly what you want to hear, just go get the home listed. This isn't the video for you. But if you want to know how to actually get a sold sign in your yard for the highest possible price in 2026, let's get into it. Let's start with the data, because in a luxury market, the math doesn't lie. In early 2026, we have officially moved into a balanced market. Single family homes with about 5 months supply. To give you context, back in 2022, we had about 3 weeks of supply. If you are selling a luxury condo downtown or on Longboat Key, the story is even more dramatic. We are seeing over 8 months of inventory. What does this mean for you as a seller? It means you are no longer the only girl at the dance. Buyers in 2026 have options. They are looking at your home, then they're looking at 3 others just like it in Bird Key, and then they're looking at brand new construction in one of Lakewood Ranch's communities like Waterside. Because buyers have options, they have leverage. In 2026, the average luxury home is selling for roughly around 93 to 94% of its original list price. We're seeing average days on market roll over 90 days, which was perfectly normal pre-COVID. So if your home's been sitting on the market for more than 90 days and you're edging maybe to close to 6 months, that's then where the market is telling you something. And usually it's one of 2 things. It's either your price or your presentation. At the Dowling Group, we track the absorption rate by neighborhood. Selling a home west of Trail is a completely different mathematical equation than selling a home in the Lake Club. Before you list, you need to know exactly how many active competitors you have and what their sold to list ratio looks like. We cannot talk about selling a home in Florida in 2026 without talking about the elephant in the room, homeowners insurance. Now, there is actually some good news here. The legislative reforms passed back in 2023, the ones that ended assignment of benefits and addressed the litigation crisis, have finally started to filter through the system. For the first time in 5 years, we are seeing insurance rates stabilize. We've even seen some carriers enter the Florida market in the last 12 months, which has brought a much needed level of competition. However, a luxury buyer in 2026 is still terrified of a surprise $30,000 insurance bill. This is where most sellers fail. They wait for the buyer to get their own inspection and their own insurance quote. By then it's too late. The buyer gets sticker shock and walks away from the deal. At the Dowling Group, we use what I call the insurance shield strategy. Before we ever go live on the MLS, we have a specialized insurance broker take a look at the home. We get a pre-qualification letter for the house. We show the buyer, here's exactly what the home costs to insure with a private carrier. If your roof is 12 years old or your electrical panel is outdated, we address it before getting listed. In 2026, the buyer will use a $10,000 roof issue to negotiate a $50,000 price drop. By being proactive, we protect your equity. We take the risk off the table, making your home the safest bet in the neighborhood. In 2026, the fixer-upper luxury buyer has virtually disappeared. Why? Because the cost of high-end labor and materials in Sarasota is near record highs. A buyer looking at a $3 million home today does not want to spend their first 6 months in Florida managing a kitchen remodel or waiting for a permit for a new pool heater. They want turnkey. There's a direct correlation in our 2026 data between condition and velocity. Homes that are stage ready sell for a 7% premium compared to homes that just need a little paint. But what if you don't want to renovate? Then we have to talk about seller concessions. This is a term we haven't used much in the last 5 years, but in 2026, it's a powerful tool. We are seeing luxury sellers offer interest rate buydowns. Even for affluent buyers, the psychology of a 5% interest rate versus a 6.5% rate is huge. If you contribute $15,000 towards the buyer's rate at closing, it can save them $800 a month on their payment. That is often much more effective than dropping your price by $50,000. Another trend in 2026 is the tech resilience upgrade. Buyers today are asking for solar-ready electrical, EV charging in the garage, and smart home integration that works. If you have these, we scream it from the rooftops. If you don't, we need to price accordingly. If your realtor's plan is to take some photos with their iPhone or use a basic photographer, put the photos on the MLS, and hope for your best, you're being drastically underserved. In 2026, your buyer likely isn't sitting in Sarasota. They're sitting in a high-rise in Chicago, a brownstone in Boston, or a tech hub in California, and they're scrolling through Instagram and YouTube at 11 p.m. Your home needs to be a content engine. At the Dowling Group, we produce what I call cinematic property profiles. We don't just walk through the house, we tell the story of the life lived there. We use drone cinematography to show the proximity of the Sarasota Yacht Club. We use lifestyle actors to show what a Sunday afternoon looks like on your outdoor kitchen. When we use targeted Meta and Google AI advertising to place that video directly in front of people who have the net worth and the intent to move to Florida, we don't wait for the buyer to find us. We go out to find the buyer. In a market with 5 months supply, exposure is the difference between being a sold listing and being a withdrawn listing. You need to be the most visible home in your price bracket. Selling a luxury asset is a business transaction that requires an advisor, not just a salesperson. The Sarasota market of 2026 is healthy, it is resilient, and it is one of the most desirable places in the world to own real estate. But it is a market that rewards precision. When you work with us, you aren't just getting a listing, you're getting a full service consultancy. We handle the pre-inspection, the insurance vetting, the professional staging, and the global marketing reach that a property of your caliber deserves. We know the Sarasota reset is here. We know that the buyers are looking for value, condition, and quality, and we know exactly how to position your home to stand out as the premium choice in your neighborhood. If you're curious about what your home is worth in the 2026 market, we want to offer you more than just a zestimate. I want to give you a strategic equity report. This is a deep dive into your specific street, your specific amenities, and a roadmap of exactly what we would do to get the highest price possible. Click the link in the description below to set up a discovery strategic call with me. We can sit down, look at the data, and make a plan that gets you moved to your next chapter with total confidence. I'm Darren Dowling with Beyond Realty. Thanks for watching the 2026 Luxury Realty Check. I'll see you next week. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. It means the world to me, and it helps our channel help more viewers like yourself. So long.